Hello all you beautiful people, how you doing here today? This is Lava Temptress and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome, hi! So today we're going to be talking about a Humble bundle that just came out. This one is another books bundle called Web Development and Design by O'Reilly. Now, Humble has evaluated at $602 worth of awesome stuff. However, I have come up with a very different lower amount. And I have a theory as far as to why, but we'll get into that later. Because as always, I have it broken down to you how much each book is normally worth and how much each tier then would be worth. All right, so these are DRM free, which just means that you can have them on all your different devices all at the same time, which makes it very convenient to go from one device to another and keep reading the same book. So, for instance, you can have them on your computers, your tablets, your phones, all the different places, which is where the multi-format comes in. Today, they are in PDF, MOBI, and EPUB files. So that means you can basically read it anywhere. If you already know what you want, click here to get the bundle. It'll take you down to the checkout process. So that way it'll save you a little bit of scrolling. If not, you can take a look. We'll take a look at that after we get done taking a look at what's on the bundles. If you need to come back for any reason, don't forget to hit the reminder bell because it'll send you an email before the bundle is over so you don't forget to come take a look at it. All right, so we start off with just a dollar bundle, and each of the bundles today, the tiers today, excuse me, have just 5 books in them, but they're very, very worthy books. If, of course, this is something that you're interested in. So, and if you're new to Humble, the way it works is there are different tiers. Today we have $1, $10, and $8. Whichever tier you purchase, you will get everything above it. So the 18 one, you would get the 10 and $. The $10 one, you would get the $10 tier and the $1 tier. And of course, the $1 tier, you get the $1 tier. All right, usually when there's books, you can click here and get a little PDF preview and read a little bit more about what's included in the books. I don't go over that anymore, only because you guys don't seem to like that as much. So I leave that up to you, but that is here for you to do. Now, in order to figure out the prices, here's what I did, and you can also do. You can click on this link here for each of the books, and it takes you to the O'Reilly page where the books are. However, you can choose, after you click on the links, on where to purchase it. So I have based all my prices off what they are on Amazon, because Amazon is cheaper. And I always take the cheapest you could actually buy it for. It's still the ebook versions, but it's all on Amazon, so Kindle version, versus you can also buy it through O'Reilly, which is where I think the price difference comes into a big play. All right, so first of all, we have Css the Definitive Guide. It is a 4th edition and is normally $43.19, so still very, very expensive, even on Amazon. Next up, we have Vue.js up and running, and this one is normally $18.35. Next up, we have Learning React. This one is normally $36.79. Then we have Mastering Modular JavaScript, and this one is normally $23.97. And next up, we have Designing Web APIs. This one is normally $19.49. Got my numbers a little mixed up there. But these are expensive, so that brings our total just for the $1 tier to $141.79, which, as you know, is a very awesome deal. A lot of these are so expensive that they have prices where you can just rent them. Yeah, that's how expensive they are. But the prices I took, these are the prices to actually purchase the ebooks. So, all right, so next we have the $10 tier. And so that we start off with Flask Web Development. It is a 2nd edition, and it is normally $27.23. Next up, we have Angular up and running, and that one is normally $30.99. Next up, we have Css Pocket Reference. It is a 5th edition, and it is normally $9.99. Next up, data visualization with Python and JavaScript. And this one is normally $33.89. And then Learning PHP, MySQL, and JavaScript. It is a 5th edition, and it is normally $24.99. So that brings our total for the $1 tier and $10 tier to $268.88. And of course, if you choose this tier, you're only going to pay $10 or more if you choose to pay more. All right, our last tier today is $18. For this one, we start off with Learning JavaScript 3rd edition, and this one is normally $24.20. Then we have the Laws of UX, and this one is normally $28.09. Next up, we have Learning GraphQL. This one is normally $18.35. Next up, Distributed Systems with Node.js. This one is normally $30.99. And last up, we have Programming TypeScript. This one is normally $24.99. So that brings our grand total to $395.50. It is very, very much different than the 600 and some that Humble said. I'm sure it's based off the O'Reilly pricing, not the Amazon Kindle pricing. But I still think no matter what price you take, this is still a very good bundle. Of course, you're only going to purchase something like this if it's something you're very interested in. So, you know, if you're just thinking about it, it's probably not for you. But if this is stuff you actually want to learn, you definitely want to pick it up for $18 for all of it. As always, Humble supports a charity. This one is Code for America. And they use principles and practices of the digital age to improve how the government serves the American public and how the public improves government. All right, that green button up above, this is where it'll bring you. So this is the checkout portion. So what you're going to do is click on whichever one you want. Sometimes the dollar amount does disappear though, and you have to put it in the custom amount. Or if you want to pay more, so like say you want to support more to charity, then you can also do that, and I'll show you how in just a second. If you purchase anything other than the top tier, however, you will have these warnings popping up. All it's saying is unless you pay this much more, then you're not going to get that tier's content. It's perfectly fine. You can purchase whichever tier you would like. Don't worry about that. The add to cart is only for Humble Choice. You do not ever have to have that to purchase a bundle though. That is not a requirement. If you click add to cart, it'll automatically take you to the checkout process with that in there. And so a lot of people get confused. So don't do that unless you want Humble Choice. If you do want Humble Choice, tomorrow the new one comes out for June. But you click up here and it'll tell you what games are currently in it. Today is the very last day if you want to get the May one, which does include Metro Exodus. I think it's some pretty good games. I do it every month, but I also like to try out all different kinds of games. Now, if you choose to pay more for charity, this is where it comes in handy. As you see, the charity is usually here in the middle. If there's multiple charities, it'll have a drop-down arrow like this one. But you can move the slider to wherever you want. The top one's usually the developer, the middle one's usually the charity, and then the Humble tip. So there you go. You can even do it where it's more of an even thing. You know, at $1, it's not going to matter so much, but once you get up to, say you're doing 25, then you start to see a difference. So if you wanted more to go to charity, that's where the custom amount really comes in, because a lot of people like to actually pay more for a good bundle and give more to charity, because then you're doing both at the same time, which is always awesome. All right, here is where you're going to check out. If you want to give it as a gift, click here. Don't forget to put their email in there though. If you want to make it anonymous, click here because, you know, it's fun. But here's where you're going to check out Pay with Card, PayPal, Amazon, or Alipay. Of course, choose the one that you're wanting to pay with and go on with the payment process. Now, I am a Humble Bundle partner, so I do have my link down below, and what that means is you will actually help support the channel, and I will get a little bit of the portion of the bundle too. So, thank you. But of course, you don't have to. You can go straight to humblebundle.com and purchase any of the bundles there. All right, that is it for this bundle. Again, it is another really great learning bundle, which makes it so very nice to get stuff to learn on the cheap, right? All right, that's it for today. Let me know what you think of the bundle. Leave any questions or comments down below. Till next time, this is Love Attemptress. Don't get burned. Bye!